Back to school again. We may also call schools the demon's favorite location at some point because, from what it seems, a lot of these scary videos have been captured in schools. Don't worry though, and I don't know why you would be worried, but the school in the next video isn't abandoned. Yes fellas, it's a newly functioning school, and just to make things more interesting, an incident, described as tragic, occurred in the location, and even involving a girl who later passed away due to the incident. Now I know how excited you are to know further details, but unfortunately, I was just like you back in the day when I stumbled upon the video, full of passion, but nonetheless, I was baffled to know that the exact details of that accident were unmentioned and remain a mystery, though we do have a video that I think shows parts of that incident where a lady is recording an ambulance. I'm not really sure. Back to the school itself, how does that accident relate to the scary phenomena? Well, people were suspecting that it's linked because it only occurred months after that accident, but we may never be assured. While a teacher was preparing the class for the next day, and he was almost alone in the building, the only other man with him was the janitor, but he was somewhere else. The teacher was describing a scary apparition that occurs on the reflection of the TV in the classroom. It seems like a ghostly silhouette of a kid sitting at the desk, and to make things scarier, it doesn't always appear.
All right, I'm just finishing up putting up decorations for the students when they get back. I was on the smart board setting things up. I'm taking a step back, and you guys know me. I stay late often. It's just me here and the janitor, and let me show you. Do you see? Do you see? I mean, is that not a kid sitting right there? Yeah. And that's it. Just me.
I'm the person who does the cleaning here, and I saw the video of the teacher has. I know that's the girl who died in an accident.
What is happening? I wanted to respect their privacy, but they just put a girl in the back of the ambulance. And the dad was running, and the poor mom was crying her head off. Stretch.
Yo soy la persona que hago la limpieza en este edificio. Desafortunadamente, hace unos meses hubo un grave accidente en el cual una niña perdió su vida. Una de las mamás que estaba en el parqueo esperando a su hijo grabó todo desde que llegó la ambulancia y todo lo que estaba pasando. También he visto un video de una profesora de un fantasma. Sé que es el fantasma de la niña, pero puede ser que sea ella o no.
I'm not sure whether the teacher was the one responding in Spanish or not, since the video of the woman recording was also from his account. He might as well let the janitor join the story. Fran, or as I like to refer to him, Frank. Frank is back, and this time, things got a bit more messed up with him. He is a man who lives in his haunted house with his family. If I remember correctly, he has a little daughter. Now, regardless, this time around, his wife will be more involved in the story. In fact, it seems like she now has authority over the account since she has several videos where she was recording while Frank wasn't aware of it in the first place. But let me explain how things have gotten worse. Well, since the house is supposedly haunted, the man seems to be on the stages of getting possessed. Obviously, these are not just personal observations. No, this is much deeper than just my personal point of view on the problem. You see, once someone starts acting funky, and I'm talking about grown adults, because teens and kids are known to act funky regardless of the situation. Once these adults begin to act weird, you know something is up with them, especially if they live in a haunted house. Even if they were staging, it might later become a reality, or they get so lost in the act that they start to lose their minds. Frank's wife recorded him. She was trying to talk to him, but he was completely out of it, not being able to focus until he stared at the camera like a demon and rushed onto it. While he was sleeping in the living room, she came back to her room. She barely closed the door, and it started banging. Either Frank felt like it's time to have his night, or the ghost wanted to get in. Talking about his daughter, she didn't appear in the videos, but her presence was still somewhat there. Her toys were playing on their own, and childish voices could be heard, which freaked Frank out. Once he tried to approach the ghost in the dark, while his wife warned him. He rushed in there and got his butt kicked. It seems so scary and somehow funky, but that's how it is sometimes. Did I mention how the paranormal seems to be attached to him to the point where he was in a public bathroom and one of the stall doors began shaking on its own?
Escucha. La risa de un niño. ¿Viene del salón? Hostia. 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 Joder. Señores, estamos aquí en la investigación ahora mismo. Estamos intentando grabar todo y se oyeron unas palmadas, tío. ¿Lo viste? ¿Es el niño?
Sí. Mira, vamos a hacer una cosa.
¿Qué?
Vamos a hacer una cosa. Vamos a jugar un juego porque el niño es burlón, le gusta jugar.
¿Qué?
Entonces, vamos a hacer un juego. Vamos a dar unas palmadas. ¿Vale?
Sí, porque es que lo que cuye, ¿no? Cuye las palmadas.
Exacto. ¿Escucha?
Hostia, míralo.
Míralo.
Yo, ahí sí. ¿Estás viendo algo de ahí?
Míralo, sí, lo estoy viendo.
Asco, tío,
Está
voy a
justamente...
acercar.
No, espérate, Fran, yo lo espérate.
¿Está la mujer o algo?
Está el niño, espérate un momento.
No, voy a ir, tío.
No, espérate, Fran. Espérate que yo puedo, espérate. Que yo puedo hablar con ellos.
Vale, ahora hemos dejado la... Dile. Ahora hemos
Vamos
dejado...
a hablar con ellos,
Estamos bien por ahora.
Sí, vamos a intentar hablar con ellos.
Escucha, ¿oíste eso?
Sí,
¿Tocaron no?
vamos a hablar. Vamos hacia la sala y a intentar hablar con
Es que,
ellos.
tío,
a ver
me
si se
está empujando, me
manifiestan.
duele de antes, tío. Te lo juro, me duele el culo.
Hola, ¿te puedo
Espérate,
ayudar?
Irene, que está... Espérate, que puedo estar aquí.
Hola, ¿te puedo ayudar en algo? Si estás aquí...
Míralo. En serio, tío. Lo vi pasar, niño. Lo vi pasar, joder. Lo acabo de ver pasar. Hostia. ¿Qué cojones? ¿Qué cojones quieres, tío?
Fran, ¿estás bien? Fran,
Tengo frío.
¿tienes frío?
¿Me vas a
Tranquilo.
ayudar?
Yo te ayudo, Fran, yo me quedo una noche más y yo te ayudo, ¿vale? Estate tranquilo.
Juega conmigo, ¿ya?
Vale,
Vamos, mamá.
estate tranquilo. Vale. Intenta descansar y yo me quedo aquí al pendiente, ¿vale? Tranquilo.
Vale.
Bueno, me voy a quedar una noche más para ayudar a Fran. Ya veo que Fran está tranquilito, la verdad. Y bueno, voy a encender la luz, voy a descansar yo también un fisquito porque la verdad que me puse bastante nerviosa. Y bueno, ¿eh? ¿Qué quieres? No te preocupes. ¿Qué es lo que quieres? Te está tocando y te está observando. Te está observando. Sí. ¿Te está tocando? Es que... ¿Estás bien, Fran? ¿Estás bien? ¿Eh? No me gusta nada esto. La verdad que estoy un poco nerviosa y no me está gustando nada la mirada. Fran, ¿estás bien? Fran, ¿tú me puedes contestar? Queda tranquilo.
There is a saying that goes like this: anything that person touches turns into gold. It seems like we could say the same about Frank after the bathroom incident. Anything this man touches becomes haunted. You know something? I like the name Toby. It's one of these names that I feel the person with it would have some sort of easy and loose attitude but might be hiding an opposite side. Which brings me to our Toby in the next video, a man who thinks he was playing it safe while investigating because he had his own car and full equipment, but who was he trying to fool? The ghost in the house. Were the wild animals all around? The man ventured to investigate an old abandoned house in the middle of the Swedish woods alone. While that by itself is scary, I mean, even if you don't encounter a ghost or a person in that house, what makes you so sure that a wild animal wouldn't be lingering inside? Well, there was something of a wild animal awaiting him. But it wasn't wild enough to present danger. It was just a little mice. Regardless, as Toby went inside, he investigated the place and covered the whole first floor, so he decided to go upstairs, where he heard some noises. He was a bit shaky but couldn't tell if these sounds were caused by some animal or something far scarier was awaiting him. So he began using the thermal camera without his flashlight, which was already a mistake, but nonetheless, the investigation was going into his favor until it took turns and became in the favor of those who wants to see scary stuff. As a fully grown man, regardless if he was a djinn in the shape of a human or an actual human, he was mysteriously sneaking at him, which sent Toby running to his car shaking in fear and had to end the investigation. But viewers have pointed out that he was already being watched before he caught that person on camera, but not sure where they found the evidence for that claim during the video.
So, und hier haben wir das Haus. Wollen wir erstmal durch die Wärmebildkamera gucken, ob wir hier eventuell jetzt schon etwas sehen. So, ja. Das sieht jetzt natürlich nicht so vertrauenserweckend aus. Ich glaube, hier unten, das ist noch gar kein Wohngebäude. Und hier auch. Höchste Sicherheitsstufe. Boah, das hört sich an, als wenn hier drin ein Lüfter laufen würde. Das ist aber, glaube ich, der Fluss, der hinterm Haus lang geht. Ich mach's doch mal ein bisschen heller. Das sind bestimmt 3 bis 4 Meter hier. Hier auch. Das ist auch total warm. Aber da unten. Okay, es ist weg. Das war safe eine Maus. Hey? Hey, hey? Is somebody in here? Do you speak English? Jag talar inte svenska. Ich wusste es. Ach du Scheiße. Ach du Scheiße. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Oh Scheiße. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein, das kann doch nur ein Mensch gewesen sein. Ach du Scheiße.
It was weird to me that the man was capable of speaking English and yet decided to keep speaking German, and since he is in Sweden, English would be the better choice to speak with. I would never recommend anyone be staring at any random house window, especially at night. You may never know what could appear. If not some husband and wife action, it may be a bit different and far scarier. But what's actually more frightening to me is the next video, which kind of gives me flashbacks of me back in the day when I was a little kid, where I was at my cousin's house and we were sitting at the window at night staring at the building in front of us, which was a bit farther away, and on one of the windows of a house whose owners have left, there seems to be a weird apparition of a person. Which takes me to the next video, where a family was driving in a neighborhood in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where they encountered a similar incident to the one I had back in the day in the house right across the street. They noticed a weird and unexplainable movement of a figure on the window. That thing was moving so fast you could barely see it. It even baffled the dog and left the whole family puzzled, wondering if they should park nearby and go upstairs to investigate the scary phenomena. Well, except they didn't actually think about investigating or going up there. They were too frightened to even have that idea. I just added that part for the extra spice.
Ay, beso.
No, no es normal eso.
No.
Ahí paró.
Porque no es como que camina, como que se desliza.
Sí, porque no es que sube y baja así del...
I'm not gonna lie, but that does sound like a fully haunted house to me, and I don't want the people who live there to see the video unless they are already aware of it. Otherwise, let them live in the haunted house, not knowing the fact that it's haunted. One of the very few people who listens to my advice and decides to move out after finding out that the house they are in is haunted. The next guy is on that list of people. He has uploaded multiple videos about the haunting of the apartment he lives in. or should I say, the apartment he used to live in. He said that he noticed the venue was haunted ever since moving in, and despite that, he decided to stay and document his experience because he is a good man who likes to fill channels like mine with more frightening videos to share with the community, unless he decides to take down the video later in the future. So, he was already aware of the wild and terrifying events he was going through, so nothing to be surprised of here. But what kind of paranormal activities are we talking about here? Well, as he was sleeping, he heard the noises, so he decided to investigate, as if there were many areas to investigate. I think other than the bedroom, there was only the bathroom. Regardless, there were tapping sounds on the window. It sounded like it was coming from outside, and even though he was standing right in front of it, these sounds didn't go away until he opened the window. In another night, he heard the same sounds, and they were coming from the same place, from that window. But what was different that night was her t-shirt color. Sorry, mixed things up. I meant to say that what was different that night for him was that once he was done with tapping sounds, the green screen he had in his room fell down on its own right behind him. And it wasn't done there. As for his wardrobe, the doors were shaking back and forth. He decided to see what's behind these doors. It might be an intruder, but it was a ghost. The hangers moving approved that.
Прошло почти 2 недели. И вот опять эта хуйня. Просили открыть окно. Окно открыть, я окно открою, форточку. Сквозняк. Время 2:30 ночи, а мы только начинаем веселиться. Проснулся от стука из шкафа, а это одна сторона, левая дверца, слегка приоткрывается и стучит. Не знаю, видно, не видно. такая хуйня, ребята. Итак, время 2:30. Ночи, ясно, понятно. Какая-то хуйня долбит мне в окно. Но только там, блядь, никого нету. Не знаю, отсюда видно, не видно. Вот, никого нет. Жутко, что пиздец нахуй. Все, блядь, я под одеяло. Ну, пожалуйста. Очередная долбежка в окно. Продолжается уже месяца 3. Примерно каждые 2 недели. Не знаю, так видно, не видно. Вот и ебал я такие приколы.
Despite the activity being intense, but due to the slow pace of it, it felt a bit boring to me. These words will only come out of the mouth of a lazy man sitting at his couch watching others suffering and going through paranormal activities while he thinks he is the tough one. By the way, this man hasn't uploaded since he left the apartment, and so shall I if you don't subscribe or watch the next video on screen.